humble commode. I mean abode.
You were such a weirdo.
Sorry. Hey guys, we're here for our live stream tonight, and we've got a lot to talk about, don't we, my love?
We do. We have a lot of stuff to talk about.
Well, first thing we're going to talk about is the fact that we don't have any Wi-Fi yet.
Okay, so I gotta say hello to someone.
All right, we're not going to talk about that. We're going to talk about this.
New.
Who?
Lovely Kid Japan is new. I just subscribed to her.
Excellent.
Wonderful Blessed Life did shout outs to all of these channels, and I'm like, woo, new people to watch.
Yeah, all right.
I'm so excited.
Okay, so what's her name?
Lovely Kid Japan. Yeah.
My half brother, step brother.
Yes.
It lives in Japan.
Mm-hmm.
That's my connection. That's all I have to offer to that. But we're glad you're watching, and this is going to be great.
Wonderful Blessed Life is fighting head cold. Katie is fighting that. She's been fighting that for about, 3 or 4 days now.
Well, all of our kids sound like they've been smoking.
Yeah.
They have like a hacker's cough.
It's that change in the season. And spring and fall is always bad here in Ohio for anybody with allergies and
it's
allergies
that deep
and stuff. Yeah.
It gets real deep right here. It's like,
Yeah.
So, well, cool. Any other shout-outs you'd like to give, my love?
We don't have they're like flying by really fast, so.
We don't have any Wi-Fi yet. It's coming. It's on its way. We've ordered it. But because of us not wanting to get into major Wi-Fi debt, which can happen if you don't do it right, we decided to wait until we got here to see what our options were. And so we're hopefully getting it tomorrow or the next day, and we'll be able to live stream a lot more simpler.
I think I'm gonna let Katie take care of saying hi to everyone because they're like.
Yeah, they're flying by, man. That's awesome.
You might need to turn your sound down, sweetheart. You're like.
Yeah, there's clicking. So anyway, we're gonna talk about the fall season. I love the fall season. Hi, Pam Walker.
I need to take my apron off.
You still have your apron from when she was cooking today.
I was cooking today.
I don't know if you guys saw it or not, but we did. Heather did a Thrive Life video, and we'll talk about that in a second. But we're all about the fall. I mean, I love the fall season. I love everything about it. I just get excited. I like the leaves.
It's my favorite time of the year.
You start wearing the hoodies.
Yeah.
And
here in Ohio, like we are notorious for forever dressing in layers because you just never know. Like we'll have a day this week where it'll be down to like 60 degrees, and then 3 days later it'll be up to like 85.
Yep.
So you have to dress in layers because you just never know what the weather is going to be.
Yep.
So, but no, fall is my favorite time of the year too. I love it. I love the changing leaves. I love the the harvest stuff and the apples and things like that. So we're getting ready to like have that kind of start, doing stuff like that. So, and I just want to remind people, like, if you have questions for us, please put them in capital letters so we can see them. Because like I said, they're kind of going by really quickly. Yeah. And that way Katie can see them and let us know.
Hey, yeah.
So,
good deal.
So we're really excited about fall.
We are.
And I this is where I'm a little biased. Ohio is probably one of the prettiest places to be in the fall, especially like in the area where we live in, where you're like kind of in like Southwest Ohio, because you're starting to get into some more hilly areas. And when the trees change colors, it's just beautiful here. Yeah,
it's wonderful. It all starts out with the startup of the ministry year. And for us, it starts in September, and it snowballs into this crazy mad dash to Christmas. I'm exhausted already.
Yeah.
It is definitely a busy season for me and for Heather, as Heather is getting ready to homeschool the kids and getting organized and getting all that ready because we moved a little later. We're starting school a little later, which means it changes our rhythm a little bit for the school year until we find some normalcy.
But I have to tell them, we got everything figured out with the city of Dayton.
Yep.
Finally, I got my letters. They're in my little blue folder up here today. After 4 emails,
a call to the state of Ohio,
8 phone calls, an email to the Homeschool Legal Defense Association, and a phone call to the state of Ohio. Finally, it was the state of Ohio.
Yep.
I talked to a lovely lady named Adrian who was just as sweet as can be and very apologetic, and and I'm like, honey, I know it's not your fault. She's like, well, I have people yell at me a lot. It's like, I'm not going to yell at you. I know that this is not any of your doing.
Yep.
But we got everything together now. So I am in compliance with the city of Dayton, so I can homeschool my kids.
Yep.
So, woohoo!
And that's more normal now than it ever has been. Homeschooling your child, especially in the city of Dayton, is probably a good idea. We have started the school year, but we have to take it slow because there are a couple of things we're still waiting on. We're waiting for the internet. We're waiting for some curriculum to come through. Just a bunch of stuff like that.
Danny 69 is done with her Christmas shopping already. I am such a slacker.
I can't touch that. I don't know what to do with that except I'm so excited for you. And I'm sure I won't be. I wish I used to be that kind of person. So, yeah. So anyway, that is for sure.
Yeah. So I'm sorry. I interrupted.
No, you're fine. You're fine. I just, we're in the middle of starting things, and we're starting new things. The youth ministry is rocking it. It's going great, and it'll continue to grow. We're beginning a new life in a urban environment, which is weird. And I planted my first kale plant. I'm pretty excited about it. It has a bunch of rabbit poop all over it, and worm castings. And we were blessed by Big Family Homestead before we left, and they gave us their worm farm. And so I'm gonna maybe do a video about how we're using that worm farm to create great soil to plant in, and how we're gonna maintain it through the winter time, because you don't want to freeze your worms. But they can keep warm in their own castings. So we'll talk about all of that kind of stuff. But the other thing that's starting, which is exciting, is my son, one of my sons, Jack, is he is going into the Boy Scouts. He went to his first meeting. He's going to get the official carrying card of the Boy Scouts and his uniform and all of that, and he's very excited. It's going to be a good time.
He goes on his first camping trip.
He goes on his first. He's got 2 camping trips in the next 2 months.
Yeah.
And so he's going to be riding horses. He's going to be learning the basics of camping. And that's going to be an awesome time. The other thing that we're going to try to do, which I love, and I have no idea how I'm going to do it, is I'm going to take a weekend or at least an evening or a morning, and I'm going to go try to hunt.
He's never been hunting before.
I have no idea what I'm doing. So I got to...
With your bow, right?
Well, I figured I'd use my bare hands. I'd use this pen. I'm going hunting with this pen. No. Yes, with my bow. And I've got a few things to get in line. One is obviously the correct permits, and maybe someone to go with me that knows how to hunt.
Yeah.
That's what I probably will do. So finding some guys that I can go with to learn the trade. And there's nothing more fall-like.
Two-family homestead wants to know if Daryl should come and back you up.
Yes. Actually, I should be learning from him and others about how to hunt. So,
Lovely Kid Japan, it's deer. It's deer season.
Yeah, totally.
So,
and it's a particular kind of deer season. So, when you hunt, you're hunting with bows. They do have particular times when you can use your shotgun, but I'm a learner, and so I'm anxious to see how it goes. But there's nothing that kind of screams fall to me, because when I was a kid, there were much less klutzier people than me who were in my family that would go hunting, and I always kind of envied that. And so I'm hoping that this year it'll be my turn, and I'll get to go, and I'll get to learn it so that eventually I can take my sons with me. But it is the fall season, and let's talk about that awesome fall harvest, man. I'll tell you. Here's the thing. We're going to give you the inside scoop on the Goin Batty clan. Heather and I, when we got married, I think this was within the first conversation of us even thinking about getting married. We talked about the fact that we will never celebrate Halloween. It's not our thing. You know, we don't mind the dressing up as long as it's not the ghouls, the goblins, the monsters. You know, if you want to dress up like Charlie Chaplin or Lucille Ball or whatever. Yoda. I mean, whatever. But we're not going to go door to door and collect candy. We're going to wait until the next day and buy it on sale. And so that's given us a certain amount of heat. Like, people have given us heat for that. We don't celebrate it. We go out to dinner as a family. We leave the house dark. And, you know, every once in a while we'll find a smashed pumpkin. But for the most part, we don't celebrate Halloween. It's not our thing. And so this year's not going to be any difference. But what we do celebrate is the fall harvest. And with the fall harvest comes hay rides and pumpkins, campfires, apple cider, apple picking. I mean, all that stuff you love when you do fall harvest.
I will tell you, like, there's not a whole lot that I miss about living in Maryland when we lived there. It wasn't my favorite place to be.
Right.
But where we lived, there was a place called Shaw Orchards, and they had where you could go and pick apples yourself. And this place was just amazing. And that place I miss because every year for 5 years we went and picked apples. The first year we went, we picked, what was it? Like $98 worth of apples.
Oh yeah.
Every kid got themselves a bushel, and like we were only going to do like one bushel. Well, everyone grabbed a basket, and then at the end we weighed them and stuff. And they had these apples that they don't grow here in Ohio. They're called cameos.
Oh man.
And oh my gosh, they are some of the best apples out there. Oh. They're bigger than like a Honeycrisp apple. They kind of have that firm like flesh on them where it's kind of like a Granny Smith, but they're sweet like a Honeycrisp. But it has a little bit of tartness. I mean, it's like the perfect apple. You can bake with them. You can eat them raw. You can. I mean, they are just you can make apple butter with them. They're awesome. But we miss those. And excuse me, I've been trying to find places around here. They used to have them all the time when I was a kid where you could go and pick your own apples. Well, they're becoming fewer and further between now. And a lot of these places are now subdivisions. So
it's lame.
We have to go a little further up north or, you know, out northeast a little bit to find some of these places.
The incessant need our country has for building houses is driving me crazy. And I'm not anti-construction. I don't want to give anybody a hard time that's into that. But we have way too many McMansions going on up around it. Yeah. Some farmland's getting torn out because of it. But anyway, the beauty of that particular orchard was the owner would come beside us and go, "Hey, did you try that first?" And we're like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "You got to eat one or you won't know how it tastes."
You won't know. He
didn't use like heavy chemicals or anything like that, so you didn't have to worry about it. But these apples were huge, and he's like, "Pick one off the tree and taste it. You got to taste the difference between the apples that I grow." And he would almost insist that you walk through his orchard, picking apples and eating at the same time.
Big screen, it did not. This he's asking me like that little corner in my pantry. I put down some peel and stick tile, and there's a little section, and it's only about
itty bitty
this big, and it's the floor. The way the floor is kind of curved up like this, up against the frame of the door. And he suggested that I, put the piece down and then put a bag of rice down on top of it, and it still didn't. Yeah. It still didn't stick. So it was a great idea, but it did not work. So I just had this little spot.
I have one correction I want to make to things in Maryland that we love. The apple thing, for sure.
Mr. Rick and Miss Melissa.
Well, okay.
Yeah.
One more now. Yeah. One more. Bandana Grandma.
Bandana Grandma.
We love Bandana Grandma.
I didn't know her when
we didn't know her,
we were
but,
there, but
she's in Maryland, so we got to celebrate that. But anyway, I mean, the fall harvest season is when all the farmers are like crazy busy bringing everything in. I mean, we still got stuff coming out of the garden over at Heather's mom's house.
Yeah.
Tomatoes, peppers, okra. There were little green beans.
We cut up our watermelon. It was like this big.
Oh, I didn't get to see it.
You did not, because it was gone.
Yeah, I bet it was.
And it was, the kids were like, this is the sweetest watermelon we've ever had. Yeah. But it was really good.
Yep, that's awesome. And so anyway, I don't even know where to tell you, but there are some great little farmettes that you can go to as a family. There's one down in Cincy, I'm forgetting. A farm where you can go be a family, have a day out.
That is Shaw Farms. No, that's a different one.
No. There's another one.
It's the one where you go
in Liberty Township.
No, not
the one we went to. Remember, we went to this one.
Oh, that's Station. That's this Station Road.
No, it's LaSordsville. There's this farm, and we went out there with Heather's brothers, their families, and it had this huge goat area where they had this inflated Niederman's, thank you. Yeah. Niederman's farm, and you get to do everything. They have a little corn maze, and we got lost in the corn maze. It was special. Anyway,
corn mazes, I guess, I don't know if that's an Ohio thing, but those are really big here in the fall, where the farmers will cut a maze for a corn crop, and then you pay money and you go get lost in there.
Oh, and it isn't as expensive as you think it is. I mean, it's really not too bad. But this is a time of the year where we are just very thankful for the things that the farmers bring in from the field or bring in from the herd, however that works.
Yeah.
And start butchering and start, think about this. One farmer feeds over 280,000 people. That's an incredible thought. There are farms that do much more than that. I know I'm lowballing that number. Please don't write me letters. Please don't send comments unless you want to promote the farmers, because they're working their butts off. And we have friends who are...
so it's not an Ohio thing. A Hoffman Family Homestead said that corn mazes are popular in Pennsylvania.
Well, sure, yeah. We went to some in Maryland.
Did we?
Yeah, okay. we did not.
I did not. I don't like being lost. I hate being lost. And it just makes me think of that movie, Children of the Corn. Like, I never saw it, but I heard it was really creepy. So.
And we're back. Hi, everybody. I don't know what that might be, but there's a couple things we're going to fill you in on. We're settling into the new house. Mm-hmm. Downstairs is still a little bit... mess. I've got my office still to set up, and we're waiting on that because my desk wouldn't fit down the steps. So we're not really sure.
We're not going to the big family homestead meetup. It's just too far for us, and like we've got too much. We would love to because we miss them.
Yeah.
But we just can't. We've got too much stuff to do here.
Yeah, so, it's tough because of the distance. But we get to text them, we get to talk to them.
Yeah. I text Krista about once or twice a week. Yeah.
Yeah. I send Brad smoke signals.
I haven't this week though, because it's been kind of weird. I probably should. She texted me though.
Yeah. So. But anyway, we're settling in and we're getting used to our surroundings. I've been getting used to my commute. I do a 40-minute commute to the office. So far, so good. There's not a whole lot to report, but
Brad says he's got a chainsaw. He can make your desk fit.
Excellent. That'll take care of getting it in. Now, if we just put it back together when it's all said and done, that's the hard part, right? I did that to our bed frame in this house.
No, it was our box spring.
Our box springs.
We couldn't fit these Cape Cod houses have kind of steep stairs. Duct tape.
Yep, there you go. Big screen.
And you could not fit a queen size box spring up into the upstairs bedroom, and so we actually had to cut our box spring and then fold it in half and take it upstairs. It was awful.
And then we had to bring it back down because we had kids and they needed the upstairs room.
The bigger room.
Yeah. So anyway,
Yeah.
but we're settling in, and my commute's not going bad. Before we go any further, though, let's pause and just send out some prayers and some good thoughts to the folks in Texas that are dealing with the repercussions of Harvey, the folks in Florida that are dealing with the repercussions of Irma and whatever
I
other.
have family in Florida that are that were kind of smack in the middle of that, and then on top of it, my uncle passed away in the middle of that, so his wife and his daughters are dealing with having to deal with the loss of their dad, and they don't evacuate, no power, flooding, things like that. So
it's crazy. But also Montana. A lot of people aren't talking about this, but Montana is on fire. Parts of Montana are having a real rough time with the fire. So please be praying for them, because it's hard. I mean, there's so much going on in the world. You can kind of hear the earth kind of waning and whining and just shouting for the coming back of the Lord. I mean, it's just kind of rah, and it's tough because a lot of people are hurting. A lot of people lost their lives, and it's just tough. So, there's fires in Oregon too. Wow, I didn't know that either. Well, we'll make note of that. And
somebody asked how the cat is doing. He's ornery. He'll rub against your leg in the morning because he wants to be fed, and if you don't do it in his time, he'll bite your foot. So
it cracks me up because my cat has a few tells of when he wants to be left alone. So you'll pet him, and he'll be like purr purr, and then he'll stop, and he'll stop wagging his tail. He'll stop purring. That's when you and I have to stop petting the cat, because that means he's going to pounce. And he's ready to bite something. And Heather has not learned that yet. So every time he turns around, he's trying to chew on her. It's kind of funny. But anyway,
this is why I like dogs. And I tolerate the cat.
But hers peed on our floor today, so not that great.
Oh, yeah, that made me mad.
Yeah. That was annoying.
Okay. Anyway.
Having animals, it happens. And then you clean it up and you move on. The Goin Batty Kitchen is next. Tell us what we have to look forward to in the Goin Batty Kitchen.
I love fall. One of the reasons I love fall is because it is soup season.
Yeah.
I love soup season. They're easy to make. It warms your insides, and I love it. So one of the things that I think I'm going to be making this week, because I haven't gone to the grocery store since before we moved.
Yeah.
So I am going to be making loaded potato soup. So it's gonna, have the bacon and the chives and the just cheese. And It is not healthy. I'll just tell you that now. It is not a healthy soup. But I'm gonna make that, and then because again it's fall, and I'm so excited, I'm gonna make apple fritters. I love apple fritters.
Have you ever made hamburger soup?
I have not ever. Well, you know what? I don't know. Like when I was a kid, my mom used to make.
Brad, video please.
Used to make like a vegetable soup that had hamburger in it. I don't know if that's what you're talking about, but that was one of those soups that I really never really liked, was vegetable soup.
Yeah.
Like I like okay, this is where my crazy kind of hangs out. Section plates were made for people like me. I do not like my food touching.
Right.
Like it.
Yep.
So I love all the vegetables in vegetable soup, but it needs to all be separate because it just, I don't know, it just, again, it's my crazy hanging out. I just don't like that. So
she's beautiful, isn't she, folks?
Yeah. So
well, I saw Brad Talby say video, please.
On which one?
Okay.
Okay.
On all of them.
I'll do one on the apple fritters, and I'll do it on the soup, and then because again it's fall. This one's one of Kevin's favorite is pumpkin squares. So I'm gonna make pumpkin squares.
I like pumpkin.
And that's probably gonna be our Cookie Friday, because technically it falls in the category of cookies because it's a bar cookie.
Yeah, and
so
yeah.
And it has kind of a cookie crust to it.
Yeah.
So it's cookies.
It's cookies.
So.
I love them. I think they're awesome, and I can't wait. I'm so excited. There's almost 2 of me.
We can't handle that.
No, we can't.
No.
And the Goin Batty Kitchen, as you guys saw today, had some things cooking in it. We'll talk about those in just a little bit. What else is going on? Goin Batty is coming out with a list of utensils, tools, kitchen thingamabobs, gadgets, and thingamajiggers that Heather uses in her kitchen. And so you guys can see what are some of Heather's favorite kitchen appliances, kitchen tools, and you can see where those are. If you click on the link to them, they'll take you to our Amazon affiliate link where we get a small commission from whatever's purchased there.
But I mean, there's certain things like I said, I mean, there's certain, like if you're going to invest in things for your kitchen, if you are a cook, like there are certain things that like for me are a must have. I have a Ninja. It's a blender food processor, and then it's got 2 smoothie cups that come with it. It's not the one like the Ninja kind of bullet thing. Those are awful. Don't like them. This thing could pulverize BBs. I mean, it has got like the actual blender part just doesn't have the little blade down the bottom. It's got like 3 blades that go all the way up. Yep. I love that thing. It makes some of the best, thickest mayonnaise you could ever think of. The other thing is I have a KitchenAid mixer, and it's one of the ones with the bigger bowls. I think it's probably the biggest bowl that you can buy without it being industrial. That thing's awesome, and it's blue, and it's so pretty. I love it. So things like that, and then there's little things like the thing that I don't have it here because it was my mom's, but the thing that I would smash up hamburger with, it's crossed like this. I think Pampered Chef sells them.
It's a meat smasher.
It's a meat smasher, and it makes breaking up hamburger just so much easier. I really like that, and you can break up sausage and any kind of meat with that. But what are some of the other things? Cast iron. Kevin was asking me like what kind of cast iron did I use. I'm like, well, the cast iron the one piece that I have that's somewhere around here, it still hasn't been unpacked, was my grandmother's, and I believe it was her mom's. So I'm not sure what brand that is. It's pretty old. And so my mom has some of that cast iron, and so does my grandma. It doesn't have any names on it, but you know, like Lodge cast iron is really good. I would suggest you invest in a good set of stainless steel cookware. I have some that I think came from Sam's Club. My dad got it for me one year for Christmas before I even married Kevin. So this stuff is almost 15 years old.
And it's hanging tough too,
and
right?
it's, you know, and I think it was Wolfgang Puck. It's got a real thick bottom on it, something that doesn't warp and bend on you. So things like that, you know, I don't particularly care for plastic utensils. I would rather have metal. I don't use a whole lot of non-stick, so I don't really need plastic. But those are just some of the things that
Presto pressure canner?
Yeah, my pressure canner, if you can. Now, I have a Presto, which is kind of like the lower end version of it. It works fine. It works great for what I need. Now, there's the American, Cher over at Two Family Homestead would know because she just got one. American Standard, is it? Pressure canner? Like something the big one with the big bolt that you tighten down. I mean, that thing is like the Mac Daddy of pressure canners. But that was just something that we couldn't afford right now. Right. But if you were going to go big or go home, go with that one. So, but so there's just, you know, those are the things. It is an investment. But like I said, you know, your stainless steel stuff, your cast iron, a KitchenAid, like those things don't break very often. Like I said, I've had my stainless steel for 15 years. That cast iron is probably 100 years old. You know? And
what are your favorite... Now, explain to everybody what a unitasker is.
A unitasker is something like a toaster is a unitasker. And I don't have very many of those, but because we eat toast a lot.
Well, she makes this incredible bread. How could we not eat toast? But there aren't many unitaskers she uses other than a toaster. What are some of your favorite unitaskers?
My favorite unitasker, probably a griddle. Because when we make pancakes, we make so many of them that doing them in a frying pan makes absolutely no sense. Now, the other one, which you will probably never be on our Amazon affiliate link, is my waffle iron. And one of these days, I'll show it to you. It is... it was Kevin's grandmother's. It is cast iron on the inside, but it's electric and it's square. And it's so old that it doesn't have a rubber coated cord on it. It's got that kind of braided ropey.
But it's not frayed or it's not.
No, and it works fantastic. It makes like crisp waffles, and they're never floppy, they're never soggy, they're not too thick. But I wouldn't have any other waffle iron though besides that one. When that one goes, we'll just stop making waffles.
That doesn't sound fun.
That doesn't sound right.
All right.
I have a crock pot. I am. You can.
No.
Kevin can attest to this.
No.
I can cook a lot of things, and I'm a pretty decent cook.
She's awesome.
Except for in a crock pot.
Nah.
Everything I make, except for I do my chicken stock in the crock pot.
That's the one thing that you can do.
That works out fine.
I don't know what it is about it though. She'll cook something in the crock pot and it'll come out brutal.
It's just not good. And I think just because I've cooked for so long on a range, and I can do a lot of the same stuff on a range or in the oven that you can do in a crock pot. And it just, for me, it turns out better that way. But I'm an epic failure at the crock pot. So.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
Well, it's not that she's an epic failure. It's that's not her sweet spot, and so why entertain it any?
Yeah.
I mean, that's something that we have to keep moving on past. Let's see.
Now, Amy T, I will tell you that the one that I have is an expensive one. And but you can buy KitchenAid mixers at Target and Walmart, and I think that they're about $200. They're smaller, they have a smaller bowl, but if you don't need something as big as mine, then go ahead and look in that, because I had one of those before I had kids, and it worked fine. It worked great.
Yeah.
So, and my mom actually has a smaller one too. Mm-hmm. So you can get them. They have a huge range of them. And like I said, I wouldn't necessarily go to like maybe like KitchenAid to find their to find a mixer. I would look on Amazon first, because a lot of times you can get a better deal there.
Sure.
So yeah.
Sure, absolutely. Hey, it's the fall. You need to get your seeds together. What do you guys do? Do you guys put your seeds anywhere in particular when the fall comes so that you can have them ready for when the spring comes? Is there any kind of seed swap going to go down in your world that you know of? Those are always exciting for us, because we plant gardens where, and we learned this from Big Family Homestead, we plant gardens where we have food that we'll actually eat. Mm-hmm. We're not gonna, there are one or two random things that we'll do. But essentially, we're going to plant the stuff that we feel is essential. What are you guys looking forward to? Are you guys getting any kind of seed swap? Of course, I know Big Family Homestead has a seed swap that goes on later on in the winter, kind of towards spring more.
Towards spring,
But what do? Do you start gathering seeds now, or do you just kind of put that off and it's just what it is?
I just wanted to say something.
Yeah.
Danny, 69, said that she got a 6-quart, which I believe is what mine is, for like $150
awesome.
A couple years ago. So you check Amazon, because they have all sorts of deals that go on there. And here's the thing too, like if you find it used, like KitchenAids rarely go bad, ever. And so I like people who have them for years. So you could get a good deal on something that's used too. So I would look into that. So anyway, okay, I'm done with that.
Okay, there you go.
And Craigslist, sorry. Sharon just said that. Sorry.
Craigslist too.
Yeah.
So there's this thing that happens, and it's coming up in October, that we just love. We haven't been to in a while, and we're actually going to get to go this year. Some friends of ours own a farm. I mean, they own a ton of acreage, and they invite a group of people up every year to make homemade apple cider. They have the press, they have the apples shipped over. I mean, they buy a ton of them, and you're walking out with gallons and gallons of apple cider, fresh squeezed.
Make apple cider donuts.
Yes. Boom. You saw it here first, folks.
See, the thing is I don't like apple cider. Cider, to me, it tastes like rotten apples.
I love it. I would drink it every day.
But everyone else in my family loves it.
I love apple
cider donuts.
Apple juice, apple cider. everything. So I am 100% in agreement with that. So that's a great time, because what they do is they make you do it. You have to participate. So you're smashing the apples.
Sorry, I had somebody request a video, so I have to
Sure.
do it. Okay.
No problem. You smash the apples. You collect the juice. You get the core out of there. I mean, it's just amazing, all of the things that they show you how to do. It's a hands-on learning experience for our kids, and even for me. I love apple cider, and I love watching them do it.
Don't they take them on a ride, like a ride in the corn? Like
They
he
did.
has this giant corn.
Yeah.
What is it called? A collector.
They don't do that every year, but yeah.
And like he'll load up all of the kids in it, like all the kids that are there, and like in his giant tractor and all the corn, and then they all ride around the farm. It's pretty awesome.
Yeah, it'll be awesome.
Yeah.
That'd be pretty sweet. So, anyway, there is going to be great excitement and hilarity and wonderfulness when that happens.
Yep.
Let's go to resources, dear.
Okay, so my resources are not books this time around. My favorite things is books. But my resources are Heidi over at Rain Country Homestead. This lady, like anything you want to know, homesteading wise, canning wise, preserving wise, cooking with solar oven wise, I mean, she knows it all. She actually is the one where I got the pattern for my my cast iron handles. I watched her do it. She sews her own skirts. I mean, she is the bomb.
Bomb diggity.
She is awesome. And so and she's just a really, I mean, I don't know her personally, but she seems like a really sweet, knowledgeable lady. Mm-hmm. She knows a lot. The other one is Bandana Grandma. I love her because her and I cook the same. Like, she was making, what was it the other day? She's making, she was making hamburger rolls, like for dinner. And she forgot to put her apron on, and she had flour all over her like this. And I'm like, oh, she cooks like me. Because every time I bake anything, I've got flour all over here and then all over my backside, because I'll take my hands and I'll rub them against my pants like this to get the flour off my hands.
Yeah.
I'm
hey,
a
Jack,
mess.
will you open that door so Walter can get through?
So, let's see, you didn't give me the homesteader lady's name. It's Heidi from Rain Country Homestead.
Rain Country Homestead,
yeah,
exactly.
Heidi. So,
yep.
But it's Rain Country Homestead, and she, like, you know, she makes her own vinegars, she makes her own tonics, she makes,
pretty awesome.
Was it tinctures and stuff like, I mean, she just, like, I'm in awe with her. Yeah, Rain Country. So
awesome, very cool.
So those are my resources.
I don't have any resources this week.
You've been a little busy this week. With programs starting up and stuff.
Yeah, I've been doing youth ministry a lot and a lot of other things, so I apologize. I'm slacking. I like resources. Does that count? Anyway, what are some of your favorite things this week, dear? And then while she's telling us her favorite things, we want to hear from you guys. What are some of your favorite things? When we talk about homesteading, what are some of your favorite things that you use in the garden, with your animals, in your kitchen? What are some of your favorite things? Because we want to know and we want to learn from you guys, because you are the community that God has blessed us with, and we want to know.
Yeah.
What that is.
Yes, Heidi does make some beautiful skirts. She makes kind of, I think they're called prairie skirts, but she sews them. So, one of my favorite things. So, here is one of them. This is a book that my grandmother gave me. And look at these lovely ladies on the back in their awesome collars and hairstyles. This thing's old. This is from 1978.
19 something.
Yeah. So, and it has all different kinds of like make-ahead mixes in here in this cookbook. And like, I mean, the pages are all like yellowed and everything like that, but it has like garden vegetable mix, home-styled salad dressing. You've got, what's this? Taco seasoning, baking mix, you know, all sorts of stuff like that. So, like your own brownie mix. So it has just everything under the sun. So instead of buying pumpkin pie spice, you can make your own. Instead of buying packets of taco seasoning, we have a big thing of it like this that we mix up. That's just taco seasoning. I mean, it's got all of those things that you could ever use, and it's make ahead cookery. So, and like I said,
Make a mix.
Make a mix.
Make a mix.
Make a mix cookery. I don't know if you might be able to find it in the library. I don't know, but there it is. Right there. And let me see. It doesn't have who it's by. Oh, yeah.
By who's a what's it face. Okay,
yeah,
so that's
well, anyway,
nice.
So there you go. That's it right there.
The ladies crack me up.
Yeah, but the ladies on the back are like 70s awesome.
Yeah. So. I remember those outfits from every time my family got together. My grandmother and her sisters wore those exact outfits.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, and then here is the other one. Now, this is actually my daughter's cookbook. It was a gift to her from a friend. But the Taste of Home Bake Shop. Now, I had a set of cookbooks that were Kevin's grandmother's. And it was like I don't know if it was something that you got like once a year or something like that you can order. But she had one set for dinners, one set for barbecuing, one set for another. And like Taste of Home, I love these recipes because I can't talk. They're kind of how I cook. You know, a little bit of this, a little bit of that, you know, and yes, it has measurements and stuff like that, but it also has a lot of times, like in the other cookbooks that I have, and I can't find them right now, but it has great pictures. I love pretty pictures of food, but anything from Taste of Home, if you can find a cookbook, and I know that they have those at the library, stuff in there is so good. I've had several of those cookbooks. I've cooked things out of them, and the family has loved them.
Absolutely.
Those are kind of like, these remind me, because Taste of Home is a lot of times people sending recipes in, so it's kind of like that that whole church cookbook that you would get sometimes, where people would send in recipes and your church would do a little cookbook or a family gathering, and everyone would bring a recipe. That's what that reminds me of.
Yep.
So I like Taste of Home, and their website is they have a website that you can get on, and they have a catalog of all of their recipes that they have. So they're awesome.
They are awesome.
Yeah.
Well, very cool. I don't have any favorite things this week either.
Because
I'm just
you've been
a slacker.
rather busy this week.
I am.
You're not a slacker. You've been very busy.
It has been crazy. I'll be honest with you.
Yeah.
My one accomplishment I'm excited about is we've gotten the rabbits here, and we're getting them taken care of, and the kale plant that I planted. I'm very excited about that. So those are some of my favorite things. But we'll be diving into some projects out at the garage that will hopefully encourage and uplift everybody. So there is a update for you. We made a video. Heather made a video today about Thrive Life. We wanted to give you guys kind of a snapshot, and we don't want to overburden you with it, but we do want to talk about it a little bit. We started our own little business with Goin Batty, and Thrive Life has been a part of that as an extra income stream. And we have the Goin Batty store where you can get all the things that Heather and Katie are making and sewing and crocheting. But we also wanted to just plug real quick Thrive Life. Thrive Life is long-term food. It's simple, it's clean, it's freeze-dried food. It has a shelf life of up to 25 years. And once you open it, it's good for a year. And it is not weird food. It is not Franken food. It is not highly processed. There's all kinds of good things in there. There's an entire menu of GMOs, non-GMOs, gluten-free products. And so we just wanted to take a few minutes, and I wanted to say this. I do this Devo in the morning that we'd love to have you at if you're ever interested in. We're a Christian family, and I've oftentimes gotten emails from folks saying, how can we support the Goin Batty ministry? And my biggest comeback to that is, we don't take donations. We're not a 503(c)(f)(r) quad, whatever the government requires. Blue Tuesday YF. Yeah. But we are a family that has a part-time business, and we could use your support there. Thrive Life is part of that, and we would love to find a way to earn your business in that. We don't want to beat you over the head with it, but we do want you to know that that is a part of our regular life. And if you're interested, you can just go to goinbatty.thrivelife.com, and you can check out all the things that Thrive has to offer, from freeze-dried fruit as a healthy snack, all the way over to ground beef, which is taco seasoning. So
put her back.
Yeah. And we accidentally banned Two Family Homestead.
That was not on purpose.
We didn't mean to do
sorry.
that.
It's not on purpose.
That was
so sorry.
Katie is so sorry.
Yeah, Katie's troll slaying tonight, Cher, so I apologize for that. But I just wanted to take a second and tell you that if you're interested in supporting the Goin Batty ministry, Thrive Life helps us do the things that we do. Thrive Life helps us with being able to be here tonight. Thrive Life helps in a lot of different ways, and we would love your support in that regard. So if you are able and willing, please check out our website and order some food. It's wonderful.
And on on our Goin Batty store.
Yep.
Katie should have the beard hats up tomorrow.
Oh, awesome.
So
yes.
I've got him two for like infant size, one that's a toddler size, and then one that's like a child size. So yeah. So,
yeah, and the snackies are good.
Cher was saying that her granddaughters ate all of her snackies.
Yeah. Heather actually uses honey crystals in her coffee now, not sugar, and they seem to do really well. So I want to just do a humble ask and let you know that is a way that you can support us. They have this new thing called the Simple Plate that makes life a lot easier for you. Where they are, there's a lot of companies out there that are bringing food right to your door, and they're doing it at about $10 a person approximately.
Well, that's I know Blue Apron.
Blue Apron is one of them. Now, the problem Blue Apron has is they're having trouble getting the food to your doorstep fresh. But what Thrive Life offers is a very simple way to bring food right to your doorstep through the freeze drying process, and all you do is refresh it with some water. They have these little handy dandy recipes that come around, and the instructions on the back are as easy as 1, 2, 3.
4 and 5.
And 4 and 5. So the Simple Plate is for, there's kind of a couple of different contexts, okay? So I've answered a lot of questions about this, but here's the contexts. One is, I need to get dinner on the table fast, and I don't want to go to McDonald's. I don't want to go to Burger King. I don't want to do junk food. I need to get it on the table. I'm tired. I don't want to order carry-out that's expensive. Well, Simple Plate offers a 4-person serving at approximately $8 a person.
This one was actually a 6-person
Was this
serving.
a 6-person deal?
Yeah, if you look on the side here, it says, 6 servings. So, right there.
Right there.
If you're looking to watch like your portion control, this is a good way to do that.
And it really is clearly marked as to what the nutritional value is.
And it has, if there's an allergy.
Yep. And
right
so
there.
It's a very useful tool for your family. If you're trying to get something done quickly and you don't want to do what you've been doing, Simple Plate offers that. Now, let me switch gears. If you're interested in being prepared and having a insurance backstock for emergencies like the hurricane scenario or water or whatever, when power goes out, when something happens,
when you move,
I'll be honest with you, that saved us a lot of time because we ate all of our Thrive Life food, and we're able to really not have to stop what we were doing to go and find fast food or do any of that.
It actually, I had all these grandiose plans of I'm going to do these meals in a jar before we move out. Did not happen, as you can see, because there was no video of that. I will do them, but just with the move, it got crazy on us, and it was actually, like I said, the Thrive helped us during that. I didn't have to go to the grocery store, which was like, there's nothing worse than trying to do a meal plan and get your grocery list together. as you're moving and trying to unpack everything. I was like, ah!
Yeah. So here's the thing. You'll buy insurance for your car. You'll buy insurance for your house. You'll even have life insurance. Well, when you get a little home store set up, whether it's, canning, which is something we do, or Thrive Life, what it does is it basically gives you a little bit of insurance for when the paycheck doesn't last or stretch as far as you thought it would. It gives you a little bit more flexibility when there's something that comes up and you weren't expecting it. You have to pay that instead of feed the family. So let me offer that to you humbly and say this is an opportunity for you to maybe stock your dry stock up, your pantry up with some insurance. So it looked like you had something to say.
No.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry. So we again want to humbly put that in your corner. We haven't really talked a whole lot about Thrive Life because we know you probably hear it a lot and it gets old. But on the side of just supporting our ministry and what we do, that's one of the ways you can do it.
Good Night, Wonderful, Blessed Life. She has her Everyone Came Home. So she's got her whole house full of kids. So,
awesome. Well,
8 kids.
It's too much.
Yeah.
Yes, it is too much.
Yeah.
Well, thanks for watching. We appreciate that.
Donna Terry says she wants us to buy her property. I don't think we're there right now, Donna.
What kind of payment plan can we set up? Because I don't think I have that in my wallet. That would be incredibly wow. Yeah. But anyway, that's what we've got going with Thrive Life. There is a lot of really great things that come along with Thrive Life. If you haven't checked us out yet, let me plug this too. It's just shameless plug night for the Goin Batty clan. I think that's allowed. It's our show. We are on Facebook. You can access any of our special offers that we have going on with Thrive Life through our Facebook page, at Goin Batty Thrive Life. So if you're on Facebook, I would say by all means go ahead and check it out and see if there's anything there that interests you. We have a couple of private groups that we're starting. One is for the consultants that are under us. That'll be a training group where it's strictly for people that are our consultants. We'll have a Goin Batty kitchen group. People that are not great cooks and want to learn how to cook from Heather. That's exciting, so you'll want to watch out for that group. And then we'll have another private group for people that are interested in getting involved in this whole Thrive Life, craze.
I've had too much coffee.
I know you're shaking like crazy. It's under the table. She's like with her leg. But she's here. She's good. Yeah. She's ready.
Oh, I want to say something.
Go, say something.
We've got something special happening this week.
Oh, I know what's special.
Our oldest one turns 14.
Katie's going to be we're going to have 2 teenagers in the house soon.
Yes.
Oh,
we'll
we
have
need
Maxie
prayer
and
too.
Katie, and then Jack is right behind them. So, yeah.
Yeah, we love it. Katie's just this ball of cheer, and she learned how to poop sunshine from Claire over at Big Family Homestead. So.
Hoffman, I wanted to tell you that they're saying I don't cook and I could even make a simple plate. One of the things I loved about it is I have my son Jack is very I call him a waffle kid. Everything has its little square and it needs to go and it needs to fit in there. And that's how he is, and it's lovely. And with him, a lot of things get done, and they get done in an orderly fashion, and that's great. So when I cook with him, and I'm like, well, you use a pinch of this and a handful of that, like he's like, ah,
yeah,
because that doesn't
it drives him crazy
in his little square.
Yeah, no.
So the instructions on this are perfect for him because they're numbered. And there's pictures, and they even tell him what utensils he has to use. So, yeah, he actually told me he wanted to give one of those a try because he's like, I can do that. I can do that.
So easy, a kid could do it.
Yep.
For sure.
So yeah.
And that's where we'll pause and just say, hey, thanks for watching tonight. Yeah. We're really glad you're with us. We're in this crazy scenario where we're living in an urban environment, and we want a homestead, and we're trying to maintain that homestead mentality. So,
and it's kind of hard right now because everything's kind of winding down. So, you know, there's not really much gardening that we can do right now because, you know, we don't have raised beds.
Although we do have some yard work we got to get done.
We do have some yard work that we have to do.
There's some things that got neglected.
Like
so,
but
anyway, those are some of the things that we're going to share with you in our vlogs when we get some things done.
Yeah.
When we start working outside, my rhythm is changing. The kids' rhythm is changing, so we'll be able to bring videos to you a little bit more regularly.
We need to make one of those keyhole burn pits again because we got a lot of stuff we got burned.
Yeah, we've got
like a lot of.
You can have a camp burnt keyhole fire pit thing. You can have that in the city of Dayton, but you have to be very careful. It's got to be a certain area away from everything. So we'll show you. Yeah. Maybe we'll make a video on that. Well, we did one already, but maybe we'll show you this new one and how we're going to measure it out, because this backyard is different than other backyards.
Because we had it was interesting because we had several people comment to help Kevin make it better, and I think like James Hummerich was one of them. Phil the ice cream guy.
Yep.
I forget
the
what
ice
his
cream guy. Yep.
That's how I remember him. He makes the best ice cream ever.
Yeah, it's pretty good.
So really they were suggesting like, you know, you need to do this, you need to do that, and it actually made it better and it made it work, which was kind of nice.
Yeah, absolutely it was.
Yeah.
We've got stuff like that we've got to accomplish. We've got a couple painting projects down in the basement where there's been some water leaking in. We've got some water management to do around the house. Yeah. Managing water is so important in this area because of the age of the houses, and so getting it away from your house is so important anyway. But to do it here is even more important. So I would encourage you guys that if you're thinking about it, check it out. It's an important thing. We've talked about a water catchment system. We're not going to dive into that yet because we've got to check the laws and see what see what we're allowed to do. Because
we don't want to have to fight with the city and the county because we did something, and we are not of the opinion that you need to ask forgiveness instead of permission. Like you need to know what your laws are where you are, and sometimes you may think you know what they are, and then something may change, and that's a different story because we've had that happen with friends where they thought they were within what they were supposed to be, and they weren't, and they didn't know it. So. But we're going to try our best to keep, within what the laws are here. But we are also keeping our eye on things like, House Bill 175, which is talking about where in an area like ours, we could have a couple of chickens.
Absolutely.
Now, the government moves at the speed of frozen snail, so it's going to be a while before we hear about it. But I keep an eye on that. So
absolutely, We want to. Oh
wait, I'm sorry. Donna Terry asked what projects I have in the house.
It's not Donna Terry anymore.
I'm sorry, Mama Donna.
Mama Donna.
Sorry, but I think I'm going to show you guys how I decorate my fireplace mantle.
Oh yeah.
I'm going to show because it is my house now and I can do some things.
Yep.
I'm going to make like a fall wreath that you can hang on the door, and I'll show you how to do that. My occupation before I was a mother, which is the best occupation, I think, was I was a florist. So I used to do that kind of stuff all the time.
And you did one video.
Where I showed how to make a boutonniere and a corsage. I think the other thing too is this thing here. Where is it? This. I'm going to get some chalk paint, and I'm going to paint that so that it kind of goes with the rest of the kitchen. I have this that's black here, but everything else, I have a black countertop, and then I have white cabinets.
Yep.
And I think I'm going to do that in white. So those are some of the projects that I have to go into the house and stuff, and
Yep.
Absolutely. I got my floor done in the pantry, so that was
it's a big deal
just
too.
Stuff like that. Yeah.
Well, guys, we're a praying family, and we're going to pray here and say goodnight. By all means, if you have questions for us, you can email us at info.goinbatty@gmail.com. And we would love to hear from you. We've been getting emails all week from wonderful people in our community. We're blessed to be a part of the homesteading community. And even when we're in this weird kind of transition, you guys have been prayerfully supportive and encouraging, and we just want to thank you for that. So we're going to close in prayer. We're going to call it a night. We're going to say thank you, and then that'll be it. So let's pray. God, thank you so much for the awesome people that came and shared tonight on our live stream. Father God, we pray for this homestead community. We lift up the folks in Florida. I think of Hewitt Homestead. I think of Heather's family. I think of Florida Singularity. I think of all these folks that are surviving Irma. Lord, I think of Texas and the folks in Houston and all the flooding and the folks that have lost their homes and their houses and their lives. God, we just lift up all of that pain and sorrow to you and ask for you to comfort and bring peace to them. God, we lift up Montana and Oregon and the wildfires and ask for you to squelch them and put them out as your will provides. God, we thank you so much for these lives that you've given us and the ability that you've given us to care for the earth. Make us good stewards of it. Thank you so much for the community of people that are surrounding us. We love you. Go before us, beside us, and behind us in your Son's precious name. Amen.
Amen.
All right, guys. Well, don't forget, we've got Devo's a devotional. We study the Bible in the morning at 7 o'clock, and we'd love to have you there if you're able. If you want to, just tune in on the rewind. You don't have to wake up early with us if you don't want to. I'm an early bird, so that's not a hard thing for me to do. But we'd love to have you. We'd love to see you there, and we're glad you're here. There's a lot of really cool people on our stream, and I had this idea, and I'm not sure how it's going to play out, so I won't say a whole lot about it. But these meetups, they're becoming very popular. They're becoming very popular. We did one with Big Family Homestead over at Caesars Creek Lake, and now they're doing one up in Wisconsin. If you're in the northern states, you could go and be a part of that meetup. But I'm thinking about getting another meetup going over at Caesars Creek for the spring when it turns warm. So stay tuned and we'll see how that plays out. I make no promises yet, but would love for us to get together and eat lots of food.
My son's making faces over here. So.
Thanks for your encouragement. Thanks for being a part of our community. And hey, what can I say but more updates as we go.
Bye.
Have a great night.